everyone, Yasir Khan here, and if you have been following my page, you would probably know that over the last couple of months I have been putting out a lot of content related to entrepreneurship and passive income and how to increase the revenue of your business if you own a business, right? So towards that, I would like to discuss a very important strategy, just one simple strategy that you could use in order to double your business's revenue. Now, chances are you're watching this video and you're saying, I don't have a business. It's fine. It doesn't really matter because this could be applied pretty much anywhere. You could be working in a marketing department for a multinational corporation. You could have your own business, maybe, or you could be a freelancer and you can sell this idea to your prospects, right? Because if you can provide someone with value, they will more than likely pay for it because it brings them value. It increases their income or their revenue. So it makes you it increases your value in their eyes. Okay, so it would be a good idea to watch this video if that is the case. So once again, I'm going to discuss the simple strategy, the one and only pretty much strategy that you can use to easily double your business revenue. It's very simple. Instead of looking at the transactional value of each customer or client that you get, you should look at the lifetime value of that particular individual. Okay, now this sounds technical and I'm going to break it down for you. Let's assume that you are a dentist, okay, and you want new patients. What you might not know is that each patient is worth at least $6,000 to $8,000 to you, right? I work with dentists and I always ask them this question. I ask them, Doc, how much do you think each new patient is worth to you? And they always say, well, it's around $200 or $400 or $800. And that's not the case. And if they get this wrong, and they get it wrong many times, more often than not, then their business model is not set up the right way. Why? Because if a dentist understands that each patient is worth $8,000 or at least $6,000, then the way that the amount of money that they would be willing to pay to acquire that patient would be higher, right? Most business owners and dentists and entrepreneurs in pretty much any niche or market vertical, they think along the lines of, well, if I spend $50 to get a customer and that customer spends $100 with me, then I am in profit. And that is true. That really is true. But the problem is that they're not looking at the big picture. If you do a good job, that person will keep coming back for years to come, right? That is how 1 or 2 or 3% of the companies, they have 6 or 7 figure months, right? While the others are trying to just get by. Can you see how this is profound? Can you see how there's a big difference between just looking at the transactional value, how much a person would pay you once, as opposed to the lifetime value of a customer or a client or a patient? There's a big difference, right? So as another example, let's say that you are in web design. Okay, you're a web designer, you're a graphic designer, and you have your own business, so you're an entrepreneur, or at least you're a freelancer, right? You know for a fact that when someone signs up, they will spend $200 or $300 with you. And that's all you look at, right? So you're not exactly willing to spend a lot or to work really hard to get one new client. Now, let's think of it in another way. Let's say that the same client will keep spending $300 with you every year. This is a very conservative amount, but let's say it's $300 per year. Let's say that client stays with you for 5 years, and then they refer 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other people to you because they love the work that you do. Don't you think that customer is worth a lot more? Don't you think that the value that this particular customer can provide to you, the lifetime value is more around $5,000 as opposed to $300, right? There's a big difference between these two approaches. So another example is that insurance companies, at least the top ones, know for sure that if they get a customer, that customer will on average pay them every single month for the next 8 to 12 years, right? And that's why they're willing to spend a lot to get that customer, to acquire that customer. That's why their marketing is almost always on point. They know that most people will not buy their service, and that's fine. But that one person who does, that person will stay with them for a long period of time, and that person will allow them to recover more than their cost. And that is what makes the difference. Okay, so once again, most entrepreneurs, most marketing managers, even most CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies, I would say, or at least multi-million-dollar companies, they're just pre-programmed to look at the transactional value of the customer. And that's why I personally feel that a lot of improvement could be made over here, right? So whenever you try to get a new person on board, think of how much he would spend with you, not once, not right now, but for the next 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years. Okay, I know dentists, and I keep talking about dentists because I work with them, but I know dentists who have patients coming in for the last 30 to 40 years. Okay, that same person is coming in for the regular dental checkup for the last 30 to 40 years. Why? Because they love that dentist. And it is only the top dental offices which operate in this manner. Okay, and that is how they have huge months. Okay, so once again, the idea here is to look at the lifetime value of a patient or customer or client, whatever that may be. You could be in any niche, you could be in any market. This applies everywhere, okay? And when you start looking at it that way, then you can say, okay, fine, I used to get a little upset when, I couldn't get a new client after spending $100, right? Now you could say, okay, well, I'm looking at it another way, and I'm willing to spend $300 to get this client because I know that he or she will like my work, and they will most probably stay with me for at least 3 to 5 years and will refer other people to me, allowing me to more than recover my cost. All right? This is what I do for every single marketing funnel that I work with, for dentists, for my own businesses, and it works really well. Yes, there is some tweaking involved, right? You have to make sure that the numbers make sense. You have to make sure that the system is working properly. But once you do that, then you're good to go. Okay? So one last time, don't look at that transactional value. Look at the lifetime value, because there's a huge difference in this approach. And it will make you a lot more money in the long term. All right? So I hope you found some value with watching this video. And if you did, I would like you to please comment on this video. Let me know what you learned, and that will encourage me to make more videos, right? I aim to create at least one new video every single week, but I try to, depending on how busy I am, I try to get at least 2 or 3 out every week, because I've been receiving a lot of requests about these kinds of educational videos in my mailbox, in the inbox, and I just like making them. All right, so thank you once again, and talk to you soon.